Holy shit, everybody. Okay. Just opened up the Google form. We have 67 responses. One of those is from me when I tested out the form. There's a lot more questions than I was expecting to get. Let's just dig in, I guess. Alright, here's my test question. What's it like being so cool? I wonder if anyone asked that other than me. Okay. What would you do if you are a dog for a day? Also, what kind of dog would you like to be? Wow. If I was a dog, I would just like hang out in the park and be the kind of dog that goes up to random people but like isn't too like overly friendly, but I'd be like a little bit friendly. Cuz I think if I was a dog, I'd be more social. Cuz me as just me, I would never talk to a stranger. But me as a dog, I'd be like I'm a dog, you know? I can just go and meet people. All right. What do Japanese blood chart superstitions say about your personality? What the fuck? What? Alright, I guess I'm gonna look up Japanese blood charts. Oh, okay. So apparently if you know what kind of blood you have, you can look at this chart and it'll tell you your best and worst traits. I don't know what type of blood I have. So, I don't know. What are the last four digits of your SIN number? Whoever wrote this, you're a bad person because you spelled it SIN and then put number. When really you should have just put SIN because the N already stands for number. What name would you give to your first child? Woo! Never really thought about this. Immediately I'm going to like, oh, maybe I would name them after one of my brothers or something. But that would get confusing at family gatherings. I can't do that. Alex. Alright, next question. What's the scariest dream you've ever had? I don't feel like I've ever really had a dream that was that scary. I think I'll have dreams sometimes where I'm like falling and then I wake up when I hit the ground, that kind of thing. Or one time I had a dream that I was like in space or something and I was in a minecart and I was holding this rope and I was swinging it around, and on the other end of the rope was just like a bunch of books, and the minecart started to speed up, and I stopped swinging the books in front of me, but the minecart was going so fast that my face slammed into the books, and then I woke up and I was like, whoa. So maybe something like that. What's your favorite DreamWorks film? That's easy. Megamind. It's a great movie. What's your favorite pizza topping? Chicken. And then salt. Would you rather fight a duck-sized horse or a horse-sized duck? I guess a duck-sized horse. Because then it's just a small thing. Johnny the Ghost. Okay. When you started Andrew's Quest, did you expect it to become the local phenomenon that it is today? Local phenomenon. That's a nice way of putting it. We got 40 subscribers, guys. So I guess, sure. It's weird that people... Well, it's not weird that people watch it. I get why people watch it. I didn't think I was gonna make this many episodes. That's for sure. But a part of me knew that people were gonna like it because I'd watch vlogs that were just life vlogs of other people. And eventually they get all like kind of annoying, which is probably what's gonna happen with me. I'll just get a little bit more annoying and then people will be like, I don't really need this in my life. Will you 3D print me? Sure. If you send me a 3D file of you, maybe I'll do a 3D print. Probably. Alright. What's your top 5 favorite video games? Next question. Would you rather win a $1 billion lottery or be granted 3 superpowers? I feel like, oh man, the superpowers would be more fun, but that $1 billion, if I got to choose the superpowers, I guess I would go with superpowers, but if they were random, I would go with the $1 billion. Have you gotten any Andrew's Quest fan art? No. Are you enjoying these questions so far? Yeah, so far they're pretty good. When do you plan on dying? I feel like 60 or 70 is maybe a good age to die. Like, looking at it from a young, healthy person perspective, I look at like old people and I'm like, man, you guys got it rough. You're old, and that kind of, that's too bad. But if like, I don't know, let's say like my hands got chopped off or something, it's like, what would the point of living even be? I got no hands anymore. So if something like that were to ever happen. Alright. You should get a tattoo of your old hat. Not a question. Should I buy a Nintendo Switch? Yes. Who's your favorite subscriber? Is it me? Maybe. I don't know who wrote this question. If you could quest from another city, any city, where would it be? Probably Vancouver or San Francisco. Those were pretty nice cities. Why wasn't episode 300 a game show? I don't know how this would be a game show. I would need other people to compete against, I guess. Ramen or pho? I'm gonna go with ramen because you can get fried chicken in it. Maybe you could do that with pho too, but I've never seen it in a restaurant like that. I never see you empty your lint trap when doing laundry. Do you? I always empty the lint trap. And sometimes, even before I put in my load, I'll empty it because somebody else doesn't empty it. And then when I take mine out, of course I empty it because I want to see how much lint that I made. And it's normally a lot. I guess I just forget to film it. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? I don't know if this is a reference to something, but no. Then it's fuck, marry, kill, Krillin, Gohan, Piccolo. We're gonna kill Krillin. We're gonna fuck Gohan. And we'll marry Piccolo. Because Piccolo will be the best trainer. And it'll make me strong. Boxers or briefs? Briefs. What is your strangest fear? I don't feel like I have very many strange fears. It's mostly just normal stuff. You know, like being afraid of talking to new people. Being afraid that I'm gonna drop something into the toilet. Being afraid that randomly someone will open their car door as I'm riding my bike past them. And that I'll be riding really fast and then I'll get crumpled into their door, but also smash my face into their door and then the back of my head onto the pavement and then die. Who's your celebrity crush? I don't really follow celebrities that much, so I don't know, you just pick. What would be your one superpower? Freeze and unfreeze time. I feel like that's the best superpower. Or maybe flying. Or not flying, teleporting. If I could teleport, that'd be cool too. What's your one biggest pet peeve? The one biggest. Whew. Maybe when people make unnecessary noise for a long period of time. If you weren't doing Andrew's Quest, what would you be up to right now? I'd probably just be playing video games. I spent pretty much all of 2016 playing video games. And that was a good time, but eventually I just got bored of it. And I still play a lot of video games. I just do it less now. Which episode is your favorite? Oh man. I don't think I really have a favorite episode. Episode 200 is pretty good, just because it's like, well, the special episode 200. Just because, you know, it's the clip show of all the best parts. And then episode 100 is good, because that intro is super dope. And then we have day 19, of course, where I clean the oven. Or any of the road trip episodes. Those were good too. But picking one, it's hard to say. Or the Nuit Blanche episode, that was good. Because of that ending. That fucking forest, man. Is there a concept for Andrew's Quest you'd like to do, but haven't yet? Yeah. There's a few, actually. I want to do a Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where I skip work, I go to the AGO just because that'd be funny, see a Blue Jays game, go up the CN Tower, and then also go to a parade. Totally doable, I think. But it's hard to say. Like, a day like that, for me at least, would take some planning, because I don't want it to just be me. Like, I also want to have two people go with me, I guess. Otherwise, it's like, I don't know, what are we doing? And it'd be nice to have other people so they could film me a little bit as well, as instead of just being like selfie stick shots or first person shots. And I want to do a Seinfeld skit because Seinfeld is great. Maybe something Scott Pilgrim related because Scott Pilgrim is great. Maybe some more like anime stuff, or do some more recreations of TV shows like The Office. Just that kind of stuff. Just like homages to stuff that I like. Which sibling is your favorite? They're all pretty good. You can't really... There's no real wrong answer here. But I'm gonna say Chris. Sorry, everyone else. What is your best and worst purchases that you've ever made? Alright, you want to see one of the worst purchases? Check this out, dogs. You remember this light kit? I'm like... that LED light string that you can put on your helmet? That was like $100 or something. And I don't know, I just feel like an idiot for doing that. Like, it looked cool, but... eh. And then best purchase, boom, right there, the bicycle. I bought that for like $600, and then I've been upgrading it, so maybe over the 4 years I've had it, it's probably cost more like $2,000, if I'm just gonna put a rough guess on, you know, just general maintenance and time I had to get a new wheel, and times that, like before I had the Kevlar tires, I would get a pop tire every like 2 months or so. And maybe you're thinking $2,000, but over that 4 years, like if I was getting a Metro Pass every month, that's more than $100. But over the course of 4 years, that would be like $4,800 instead of like the $2,000 for the bike over 4 years. So it's good. Also, just riding a bike, it just feels great. Right, everyone? Like, ride bikes more often. What's your biggest screw up in the kitchen? I just remembered this story. I'm making home fries in a frying pan, and I have a lot of oil in the pan. It's like maybe 2/3 full, and it's hot oil, and I'm about to flip some, and I'm shaking it a bit, and I put it forward, and I see the oil splash up, and then it splashes down, and I realize that it's going to come forward onto me, so I step aside so it won't hit me, but then it splashes into my dog's face, and the dog was standing right behind me. Just hot oil in my dog's face. I was like, oh my god, I'm the worst person. Why didn't I let the oil splash onto me? So I grab the dog and then rush into the bathroom with her, and I just run water over her face until I think that she'll be fine. And then she was fine. But it's like, man, that doesn't feel good. Just splash some hot oil in your dog's face. Oh man. How many questions of this? I think we're like halfway through. Oh, Jesus Christ. What problem or situation did TVs/movies make you think would be common, but when you grew up, found out wasn't? I guess like there's a lot of TV shows where it's like, all right, if it's set in like a school setting, right? There'll be a character and they'll be like, oh man, I really want to ask out this other character on a date, but I'm too much of a chicken, so I'm gonna talk to their friend, and then I'll ask them to ask their friend to go on the date for me, and then you start to get like a love triangle because then the middleman falls for you, kind of thing. And that turned out to not be a problem for me because I just don't ask people out. What is the dumbest way you've been injured? Dumbest way? I don't know. I guess I've like stubbed my toe on stuff. Maybe that's dumb? Or there was that time on day 256 that I was putting my chain back on my bike, and instead of stopping the wheel when it started to spin up as I'm like putting on the chain, I'm like, I can just attach the chain without stopping that wheel. And then I put my finger in a little bit and yeah, I got caught. What ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into doing or believing? I don't know. What's the most useless talent you have? I feel like I have a number of useless talents, and I normally can't think of them until I'm in the situation where I would use them. It's stuff like when I'm washing my hands with soap, and my hands are really soapy. If you just like make a little circle with your hand, and you can see the soap film still there, you'll just blow air into it, and then it's like boom, you got a bubble for you. Just stuff like that. I don't know. What's the last picture you took with your phone? Maybe I'll edit that into here. What is a perfect pizza to you? Perfect pizza. It's hard to say. I probably never experienced the perfect pizza, but my go-to pizza is chicken, mushroom, pineapple. It's a pizza that we would get when I was younger because I liked the chicken, my sister liked the mushroom, and my mom liked the pineapple. So there you go. And then all together it was pretty good, so I still get that a lot of the times. You're in a desert, walking alone in the sand, when all of a sudden you look down and see a tortoise. You reach down and flip the tortoise over on its back. Andrew. The tortoise lays on its back. It's been baking in the hot sun, beating its legs, trying to turn itself over, but it can't. Not without your help, but you're not helping. Not a question, but I get it. What is your favorite meme? I feel like I don't really have a favorite meme. They all just come and go. I don't know. Double Rainbow is pretty good. Will you work on a new game with me? Maybe. Where are we going for the next road trip? It'd be cool to go overseas. That, or maybe check out the East Coast. I don't know, I'm good with whatever, really. Do you have any secret obsessions that people don't know about? It's time to reveal! And then there's a bunch of exclamation points. Secret obsessions. I feel like you guys know what I'm obsessed with. I don't know. I don't think I'm really obsessed with anything. Or you know what? I do like a lot of cartoons that I never really talk about because it's like, am I gonna vlog that I'm watching cartoons? Like, oh man, just a few days ago, they released a bunch of new episodes for this show called Star versus the Forces of Evil. Guys, it's such a great show. Like, I don't know. Like, if you ever watch it, the first season's kind of dorky and lame. There's not really a lot of character development, but there's something to it that was like, yeah, you know, I could watch this. And then in season 2 and 3, they're like, hey, you know what? What if we wrote like actual characters for the show and made it good? And then they did, and it was great. And I was like, man, you guys are doing it. So maybe stuff like that. I like a kids cartoon show. Go check it out. Just type in Star versus Foe. It's good. What do you want for Xmas? Yo, a Nintendo Switch, doc. Can we get you really drunk one day? Probably not. Like, I taste the alcohol and I'm like, tastes awful. Like, even times when people are like, oh, this doesn't taste like anything, I still taste it. I'm like, this is just terrible. Why would I don't want this. How does it feel to be YouTube famous? I don't know. I feel YouTube not very famous. So I don't know how that feels. Have you ever come close to quitting the vlog? What made you keep going? Yeah, I've come close. I think it's like day 37, around day 40-ish. If you'll see, there's like one episode where it's the entire week is just one vlog. That's because I filmed one day and then I didn't feel like making the video, and I filmed another day and then I didn't feel like making the video. And then 3 days go by where I didn't film anything, and I was like, I don't really want to vlog this. I feel like the vlog is dead, because at that point I would just go to work, and then I can't really film at work. So it's just like, the vlogs it's all just like I go to work, and then I come home, and I live a boring life, and I watch cartoons at home. And then people were like, well, I don't care, just keep vlogging. Like, come on, man, just update the vlog. So then I updated the vlog, and then I just kept updating it. And people still watch it. So, there you go. What are your thoughts on the movie 300? I've tried to watch 300 2 times. Both times, I either fall asleep or get bored, and I don't like it. What's your middle name? Yo, whoever asked me about my sin, this is probably the same guy. But it's David. Apparently, my first name was gonna be David, or Dave, and my grandma didn't like it. So my parents decided, well, we'll just call him Andrew. I think that's basically how the story goes. So now I'm an Andrew instead of a Dave. Thanks, Grandma. But also, I feel like I know more Andrews, or like I come across more Andrews, and I don't like it. Like, it's very rare that I'll hang out with someone else who's named Andrew, because I'm Andrew. I don't. And that's one of the things that kind of bothers me at work right now, is that there's 2 other people named Andrew on my team. So it's like, why? Why would you put 3 Andrews onto one team? That doesn't make any sense. And there was a time when I was like, well, I'm new on the team, maybe I'll go by Andy. But one of our supervisors is named Andrew, and he started going by Andy. So now I can't go by Andy because that's already taken, so now I gotta stick with Andrew, and it's like, we got too many Andrews. Have you ever thought about taking a trip to Cuba? Yeah, I think Steve went to Cuba, and he was like, whoa, Cuba was cool. And I saw some of his pictures, and I thought, yeah, that does look cool. I would maybe go to Cuba. But I don't have any plans to do that. What's the square root of 25? Let's just Google that for you. I'm an idiot. It's 5. I haven't had to do math like that in like since like grade 10. All that, like, if you asked me what the square root of a thing is, like, I wouldn't even know. I'd just be like, who gives a shit? I'm sorry, Dad. Why is the sky blue? It's like when light reflects against water or something. Maybe. Or it's like the atmosphere. It just is. When are you buying a Switch? I'm probably never gonna buy a Switch. Or like maybe I'll buy a Switch if there's like a price drop and or a new version. Let's make a game. Are Doritos racist? Have you considered becoming a cider connoisseur? No. What's your fave Trek? Star Trek Next Generation. Are Cheetos considered a chip? No. They're considered a corn puff. What do you order from that shawarma place? I always just get a chicken shawarma. Whether it's like on a plate or in a wrap. It's always chicken. If a tree falls down in the forest and no one is around to hear it, what's your favorite color? Orange. And then the last question. Are you balding? I don't think so. I think I've always just kind of had like a big forehead. Or like a really high hairline. But at the same time, like, who doesn't like notice that they have hairs around their place a little bit? Or like, I'll wake up in the morning and be like, oh, there's like a couple of hairs on this pillow. Is that just like, you know, rubbing my hair against the pillow and then hair falls out? That's what I would assume. Alright. That's all of the responses. And I'm kind of surprised. I thought I was going to get more like dumb shit. But there's only a little bit of dumb stuff in there. So thanks for that. This video is too long. Goodbye.